Hey everyone, Henrichs of Valor Ridge, and today what we're going to talk about is rifle accuracy expectations and what good shooting is. Let's go ahead and get started. One thing I've noticed the last few years is that there are a lot of people obsessed with this hyper accuracy of rifles. In other words, I've heard people say, well, if my rifle can't shoot 1 minute of angle or 1 inch at 100 yards, it's garbage. That's complete crap. First of all, you can't hold 1 inch during combat conditions. And I can promise you that you can't do it standing, and I can also promise you that you can't do it kneeling. I'm not trying to put limitations on people, but what I will say is we need to be able to bring a good amount of marksmanship in various positions, and we need to do that efficiently. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to work these barricades, and I'm going to different positions going, such as standing and kneeling. And I'm going to shoot at a target maybe 50 yards away, maybe a little bit longer than that. And I'm going to show you the target and what we should be able to expect from a marksmanship under those kind of conditions. So this is a target that we're going to be shooting at from about 50 yards, maybe a little bit longer. There's a reduced silhouette here, and as you can see, this is my hand, a little bit bigger than my hand, certainly as far across as my hand. So what that translates to on a person is that that's going to translate to a nice upper thoracic hit as well as a nice headshot. Now, a lot of times people will really obsess over squeezing out as much accuracy as they can when they shoot. That's fine for zeroing, but when we practice, when we go out and train, we want to bring we want good enough accuracy without sacrificing too much speed. And so I want to make sure that I can be able to do this and make hits in this size of a hit zone when I'm in standing position or kneeling position. I'm not really going to talk about prone, because I would only use prone for farther targets, or I would use prone if I was in a position like a defensive position or something like that. But in general, we don't really do too much prone shooting. We're going to focus on standing and kneeling, because those are two very common positions that are used when there's interpersonal violence involved. All right guys, so we'll show you standing here. So we should be able to take a standing shot and be able to hit within that hit zone. You should be able to do that from a standing position at 50 yards. And so we're talking practical accuracy here. We're not talking about shooting bullseye and trying to hold the, X-ring tightest shooting that we can get. We got to be realistic on what we want to do. As I said, if you can hold 1 inch at 100 yards and you could do that in a gunfight, well, you're probably the first human being in the history of the world to do that. So we want to make sure that we're doing things properly and we're emphasizing a nice balance of speed and accuracy. So showed you the target. So what I'll do here is I'll work from behind this barricade, and what we're going to do here is I'll take a shot on that piece of steel, and then we'll go check the target after we're done. So from standing position, I come out, I'll make my shot here standing, and I can really line my sight up here and take a good, clean shot on that piece of steel. As you can see, that's a dead center hit there on that piece of steel. As I followed through, I checked my target. Same thing kneeling. If we want to pop out and do a knee, then we'll make sure that we can do that from a kneeling position as well. There's another dead center hit. Let's go take a look at that target there. So guys, as you can see, 2 shots, one standing, one kneeling, dead center there. My shot's gonna be right about there, within a palm of a hand, from standing and kneeling, unsupported. Now I know what this rifle will do. At 100 yards, it'll hold anywhere between 2.5 to 3 inches on a 5-shot group. So it's an AK. I'm sure an AR, you may be able to squeeze just a little bit more out of it. Talking about unsupported prone there, not from a vise or anything else like that. So I know what this rifle's capable of. Can it shoot tighter than this? Well, yeah. I mean, if you're in a prone position and you got all the time in the world, sure. But when we're doing things like doing those pop-outs behind a barricade like I just showed you, we don't have all day to sit and wait and try to line the shot up perfectly. We've got to break that shot in an acceptable time frame of accuracy. And I know I was talking and demonstrating that for you while I was doing that, but I want to break that shot pretty quick. So expectations on rifle accuracy. We don't have to ring out that 1 inch group at 100 yards. Oftentimes that can be quite counterproductive and take too much time, and time is the most valuable resource that we have when it comes to deadly force. I go over a lot of these concepts in my American Rifleman book. That's in the description box. But before we get into any of that stuff, guys, I really want you to make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow me on Facebook, and the best thing that you can possibly do is come on out to Valor Ridge for a rifle class. We'll teach you a lot of nice things with your rifle, how to be a complete rifleman, not just a shooter. And we'll give you real practical drills that have been proven across the world to have worked. So that's really what we enjoy doing, is teaching. I do these videos, you know, to get the word out there about people that haven't been to us yet. I know a lot of you watching have come train with us. Those of you watching for the first time understand that what we do out here is very special, and it's much needed in this country if we're going to keep our rights and keep our liberties. This is Reid Henrichs with Valor Ridge reminding you the lessons that we learn are written on the tombstones of others. We'll see you on the ridge.